Hi, my name is Michelle So, and welcome to another episode of HomeQuest & Gardner's Quick Insights. For this video, I'm going to give a brief overview of the policy behind adverse possession and a concept called tacking. Now, please remember, this video is only for informational purposes and it's not a substitute for legal advice. In my first video, I gave a brief overview of what adverse possession is. And since I'm going to be talking about the policy in tacking, I'll just give a brief summary again of the definition of adverse possession. Adverse possession is when the claimant has possessed the land in an actual, hostile, exclusive, open and notorious manner, continuously and uninterrupted for the statutory period of 10 years here in Washington. So what is the policy behind adverse possession? You might be wondering, why is there a law that allows someone to steal someone else's land? But adverse possession is not about a quick land grab. The primary underlying philosophy behind adverse possession is that land being used is much more favored than land that's not being used and unoccupied. If you think about farming, grazing livestock, or developing land for commercial or residential uses, these are all very productive uses of the land. And so society benefits as a whole when the land is being used as opposed to remaining idle. However, if you haven't possessed land for over 10 years, you still might be able to make a claim for adverse possession under a concept called tacking. Tacking means adding together consecutive periods of possession by different people. So what does that look like? Say you purchased a property 3 years ago and you decide to get a survey done because you're thinking about remodeling your house. And the results of the survey show that the fence that's on your property is actually not on the boundary line, but is 10 feet towards the neighbor's property. In this situation, you've only owned the property for 3 years. However, after doing some due diligence and research, viewing aerial photos, you find out that this fence has been there for at least 15 years. So you reach out to the prior owner and find out that this prior owner installed the fence 12 years ago. So in this situation, you can tack or add on your 3 years to the prior owner's 12 years, which makes 15 years, which is over the 10-year statutory period of time. However, there must be privity or a legal connection or relationship between your possession and the prior possessor's ownership. Usually the privity arises from the sale of the property or through gift or inheritance. So that's tacking for you and the policy behind adverse possession. Again, this video is only for informational purposes and not a substitute for legal advice. Thank you again for joining me here today at HomeQuest & Gardner's Quick Insights.